before, and it's like, I don't know. To me, it's entirely like counteracting himself, but it's like, something, bro. Like the last nerf which he got, that was like where I drew my line. Like, not being able to out-heal Winston, dude, that's depressing. Like, I gotta admit, it's straight depressing.
Yeah, I was, like, I'm not even a Mercy main, and I felt bad for all Mercies.
Oof.
Just 50 heals a second when Winston does 60.
No, I swear it's less than 50.
It was 50. Winston does 60. You were out-healed. I don't know. Like, just not... I don't know how I could ever main that. Like, just sitting there. Like,
I'm telling you, if you ever want to try and be a Mercy main, do it if they ever fix Mercy.
If they
Since you know when they're gonna nerf her.
Yeah, they're gonna nerf her like every other week, but when are they ever actually gonna like fix her?
Like they said that they might put her back to how she was before the last nerf, but
yeah, but that's what
that might not happen either.
That's what she is right now. She's back to what she was before the last nerf. She's back to 60 heals a second, and they even gave a little buff, saying that giving a 15%.
Oh, hold up! I swear she's not.
No, she's back to 60, and her ultimate actually charges 15% faster now.
Oh, you should pull out a Winston so we can test this trap. Because
Right.
I don't believe you.
You do not.
Granted, I haven't really played an actual heal Mercy yet, but
How do you not believe me? I have given you all the right information up to this point. I even told you when she got nerfed.
And Savior, I'm trying to need your follows.
While
Get
we're
over
testing-
here!
While we're testing this, Savion, do you have any
Imagination is
anything to add to the
Yeah, about
Mercy
Mercies.
thing?
No.
Nothing? You have no comment on Mercies at all.
I don't play Mercy, so I wouldn't know much.
Nick doesn't play her, and not often enough.
I don't play her,
Hey.
I just know what the thing is.
Hit Savion.
I just know
Okay,
that
fine, I believe you.
I just know that Mercy is in a really shit position. It feels like every update she gets some nerfed, and that's why I really wanted to actually do this. Although the content helps a bit. How you physically went from a Mercy main just because it went to staleness to a Widow.
Oh,
Like how's that
one
transition?
thing which physically does not help is the constant I need healing bullshit. Because every time which I go to heal somebody, right? They say that as like the second before I start healing them. I always see the health like any other sport, and I know who to heal. So if you say it across the freaking map, that pisses me off. Oh, if you say it when I'm dead, after watching me die, yeah, that's total turn off for healing. Then the reses, like, sure, I can pull them off, but it's also like an instant target on your head. If anybody has a good headset, it's like, you know somebody's coming, and then if you escape, the person who you res isn't gonna escape. So then you get pissed off at you. Also, all of the bad Mercies out there piss me off.
All the bad Mercies piss you off.
Yes. Yes, is whenever I see a bad Mercy, I want them dead. Even if they're on my team, I don't care. They're bad. I don't want them. They just ruin. They just ruin the feel of me playing Mercy. Okay. especially when they steal it from me. And it's the same thing with any character, like Diva in the top match, in the match earlier. Yeah, it was top. Well, I was holding the gold medals with Diva, and then on that last round they were like, no, screw you, and they put Diva, and it's like, really?
Yeah, that is understandable, but that's for everyone. They just don't like.
Yeah,
no one likes seeing
that's why every character.
Just be bad. Because like I personally feel that way whenever I see a bad Reinhardt. It's upsetting.
It's still just a thing which has to be pointed out when people do that. Like when you play a character good, and somebody like tries to one up you, and they're worse than you, that's just trash, bro. It's Savion. I'm actually curious. Does it piss you off too? When you get into a match, right? They did a whole load of DPS insta-lots. And then somebody complains about heals. When you don't want to go heal with a bunch of DPS.
Oh. That's if they're bad. I don't know why they're bad. They could be going through lag. They could be new. They could be bad.
But what if you see like a 5-star or 4-star in just a team of all those, like insta-locking DPS?
Like straight not new people. Just straight DPS mains. Not wanting to play tank or support.
They could still be going through lag.
No, okay. From the DPS main standpoint inside of you, how can you not get pissed off when your team just puts DPS?
If they're just bad, then it wouldn't be possible to reach like 500 and be bad. What I'm saying is, if they're level 500, their main isn't damage if they're not good at damage. Maybe they just want to try it out.
But like in a top game especially, why would you try out a character in top?
Yeah.
Like Twitch play doesn't really matter, but in like a top setting, like the 4v4s and stuff in it, that should be a lot of DPS anyway.
Yeah, but that's about a whole game mode of killing people, so it's like
if they're having fun,
it's different.
Then...
But in normal top though, when you find a whole bunch of DPS mains, it's still frustrating. Or when you get a good like setup for people, like you got the DPS people, you got the support and the tank, and somebody switches that up, like earlier as well.
Be careful.
It's like,
yeah, when people like anger flex to someone, they die a lot. Like it's normally, in my experience, normally a DPS main, but they just go, they die, and they immediately switch to either a trash DPS or go tank.
I was talking about a tank who we had a good setup with in the top game, and they were the other tank, and after we finish the round and we win, they instantly switched to DPS. Completely confusing one of the guys who was in the DPS slot. It's like...
Oh, like in our comp match earlier where that one person that stole Diva from you was pretty much in that situation because he didn't know what to do since what was a damage person switched to a tank, and the support switched to a tank. Well, no,
that's the exact situation which I'm talking about. Man, I just can't play with Lucio. Dude, okay, it also sucks when like the 1v1 settings, the limited 1v1s, they suck, because it's all DPS. And then like, Roadhog or something, it's like, no, it's Roadhog even, no.
Yep, Roadhog and Orisa are in the 1v1s. Yeah,
it's dumb. So the battle mercy inside of me can't show in the 1v1s, it's like, I want to whoop somebody's ass in a 1v1,
but
and I
But
can't.
the thing is, they also have Moira and Ana in there. also in the 1v1. So is Zenyatta. The only one not in there is Mercy. And yeah, only
And
one.
Brigitte not in though.
Yeah, Brigitte's not in there either. Having Orisa and Winston in 1v1s is the most annoying thing I've ever had to deal with.
And wait, so it's Winston, not Roadhog?
It's Winston, Roadhog, and Orisa, but Roadhog's bearable since you can either knock someone off the cliff or you can insta-shot them because Roadhog counters himself because of how much damage he does. But Winston is just annoying. You sit there and just see who cracks first and does the jump. While Orisa is who mans up and steps out of their shield first. Which they're both just annoying. Like that's why I want like Orisa traded with Reinhardt. I want Reinhardt in the 1v1s. Cause Reinhardt
what they could do is just put everybody in though. Since you know if like Mercy pops up, a lot of people won't pick her anyway. So it's like, even though the fact is that people probably won't pick her besides like the Battle Mercies, but it still gives the option. It's like, it's a limited duel, so, like, in the name it might kind of entails that there's people missing from it, but when I first saw it, I thought, hey, it's everybody, but you can't pick everybody. It's like,
yeah, it's everyone. Just
what it is, but yeah.
You're gonna have the chance at one point or the other to get at least one of everybody.
And it also pisses me off when you get the same character in a row, and it's like so unfair out of the 3 what you get. That is like, you can't help but not pick the same character. The total rework. I want to know if you like that or not, because I don't like it.
You don't like the Tor?
I truly don't like it. No, I don't.
I'm so and so with the Tor rework. I'm a little upset that they took armor out, considering that was like my favorite part of them.
I'm like, it's dumb how you didn't toss the turn. Toad should not be able to toss the turn. Like, no, it's on cooldown. That's straight here in the shot. It's like, and I failed. Well, like you wouldn't be able to put a taunt now.
No, you wouldn't.
It's like you had to work to get a taunt in a good spot. Like on Horizon Mortality, you physically can't place the taunt on top of the exit into space. And you know I did that before the rework, and now you physically can't because it won't stay, because it acts like
yeah, it'll bounce off.
Yeah, it just kind of slides off before it sets up. Did I just place it? Yeah. I don't know.
I like the. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really that fond of it, but I'm fine with it. Cause the Tor rework, yeah, it did make it to where I could play Tor without like a bunch of anger, and I could actually like focus on attack Torb, but
now he's viable.
Yeah, he's viable now, but he was also viable back then. It's just you set them turrets somewhere on the point as precaution, and you stay with the team and wreck stuff through your behind the shield, and when you after like a few kills or so, you can you have enough armor to survive just perfectly without really any chance of dying for the most part, and you can also supply armor to your team, so you're also being a team player. But now it's like he's just a full-fledged DPS of who cares about anyone else other than yourself.
And his ult, that is one thing which I really don't like about it. Like, it's cool and all, but considering that I got so used to the old home, it's like the overdrive ability, I think it's called, that actually confuses me now with like how they get his ult for so fast, sort of thing. even though it's like down.
What,
Huh?
say again?
The abilities overload.
Overload. Yeah, but that ability still kind of like messes me up. I'm so used to the old ult, and the new ult I find entirely stupid, since even if there's not lava in the ground, you just have to be like slightly close to it and it'll still take damage. Like its area of effect is not really all that defined. But they try with showing it, but it's still kind of weird. It's not solid. Yes.
I think with his ult, like, it was fine-ish, but it kind of defeated the point of the rework. The point was to make Tor more offensive, and then they gave him an ult that's even more defensive than what it was. Because yes, you can be offensive with it, but it's mainly for sealing off chokes and clearing the point when needed. That's about it.
I mean, like half the people don't even use it right, because they don't use it to block off. They just ult when they have it, just to spray it everywhere. They don't use it to block off like flank routes or stop a charging tank or something. It's like, no, they just use it and then go on. It's like they don't use it properly. Same with Symmetra's ult. After that, we were told it's trying to use weird. Like, I know you use it, what I find to be correct, but other people who just do it straight from spawn and then like miss everything, it's like a waste of an ult at that point.
See, if we're going to get into symmetry work, I actually have a lot to say about that. I personally hate symmetry work. I hate it with a burning passion.
And that's how I feel with the Hanzo one.
She was a lot more viable and a lot more fun to use before the rework. Like
Yeah,
now.
I don't like the ult.
What?
I don't like the ult.
You like the shield ult?
No,
I
he
don't
doesn't.
like it.
Oh. Yeah, like I don't like it. I prefer her double ult. Like her shield generator, like just buff that up to 100 health and buff the.
And it was unique, which kind of made her special, and I liked it.
Yeah, she was the only. She had the only character with 2 ult going for her, as well as the defensive playstyle. Just buff her. Like if them taking out the 6 turrets, I'm fine with. But making it to where her teleport is an ability, not an ult, and making it to where she doesn't have lock on anymore, like kind of killed it for fun factor. Unless you're up against a team of tanks, it used to be you could play her no matter what, and now it's you have to be going against a ghost comp, or else you're just never going to use your primary fire.
Oh yeah, I also hate Hamden's ult, because people don't use it right either. Like how I just did. I find that to be a more, well, granted, do it close to the ground, so it doesn't spread out so much. But how people just like run up and do it like all in a bunch, that to me seems like a waste of an ult.
Yeah.
Like if people pick a character, like should know how to use the abilities, and especially the ult. It's like, granted, the DPS ults I'm not the best with. I can't get, like, I don't have a lot of the full kill achievements for the ults, but I still can use them. Like, in top, I know that it's not really full how many you kill, it's just a matter of getting like good pits for it, but it's still like.
Yeah, it's more about.
Someone should know how to use the character when they pick it. Like, switch play doesn't really matter. It's not the competitive setting. But in comp especially, it's, yeah.
Sniper.
And if you really want to, like, get down to it, and they have a training place where you can at least touch up on the abilities. Like obviously you can't get good with them by doing it against static robots, but it's still a way to see the abilities, so it's not like your first game. Granted, I still go in like first game Twitch play sort of thing with new characters, but it's still like better than trying out a new character on top. which is especially why I hate DPSing in comp, because I don't have a lot of those options. I can still play some now, but in the past seasons, as you know, I couldn't. Like, especially if they took, like, Tracer. It's like, what do? The reworks are trying to, like, make me depressed a little bit. Like, I preferred the old Hanzo over the new one, and now it's like... Since that wasn't a bad Hanzo when they had the, Scatter Arrow. Most because it's a one-shot if you do it right, which I could, and now with the movement added, it's like an extra thing. Like you've seen how I play, well I jump fairly often. I'm gonna try to dial it back on after Switch and stuff, but it's still like that when I try and like jump like close to each other, the Hanzo jump now kind of gets in the way and it messes me up. Especially with my aim, it's like I haven't gotten used to it. But that's probably the reason. But then the Storm Arrow, oh, don't even get me started. That itself makes me mad.
I hate Storm Arrow with a passion. I personally think it's a stupid concept because they traded off the strong. I'm gonna call it strong, not overpowered. The strong scatter, because yes, scatter was really strong, and it had the potential to one-shot anyone in the game, and sometimes get double kills. But the problem with that was it had to be in close quarters, and you had to be super lucky. Not even Hanzo mains could perform. Not even Hanzo mains could perform scatter arrows one-shot every
time. Yeah.
But now with Storm Arrow, you're guaranteed, with even slightly decent aim, to kill a tank and someone else. So
like even just holding down the trigger and moving, you can still hit pretty much all the shots. And that's without even moving your thing, just holding still. It's just kind of like it doesn't take a lot to hit all the shots. And since they do more damage and they shoot faster, it's kind of like a cheap way to kill somebody, especially.
Yeah, you pull that out on anyone, it's just saying you have little skill and you're walking into something you just don't have any reason to be in. It gets Hanzos out of stupid situations that they should die in. Like now with the movement ability,
especially against squishies, like
a lot more tanks. A lot more Hanzos going everywhere.
And like 2-3 shots and a squishy's dead. It's like,
yeah, because it does 800 a shot, so you're pretty much gonna kill a tracer with 2 shots, which you have 6
and then the other one with 3. It's only. I don't hate some of the new characters which are adding. Everything the ideas are good. It's just a matter of doing it right.
Yeah,
like Wrecking Ball, I honestly wasn't really all that excitable. I didn't know how I thought about him in the first place. But it was interesting, it added something else, and it's kinda like, now it's become just an annoyance to see a Wrecking Ball. But it was different at the time, so.
Yeah, when it first
presenting something new.
Yeah, they pretty much are becoming trial and error with these new characters. Because the past...
I'm hoping that they do Ash right. No.
Yeah, the past 2 new characters, well, the past 3 new characters were support and tank, so it was, you had to damage support hybrids to get people to stop, like, stop being DPS and even actually flex for once in their life. And then there...
No, Bud and Moira didn't help since they just kind of made it. Hey, you want to play tank, but you don't play support? Play Bud. Or like, hey, you want to play DPS, but you're forced into a support slot? Play... play Moira. It's like...
Yeah, me as a tank main, I will never... If I have to flex the heal, I will never touch break. I don't consider her a tank. I don't even consider her a slight decent character in the slightest.
I can't crouch in that.
I just hate Brig with Burning Passion. I don't know what it is. Like, she's supposed to be aggressive, she can her job is to mainly be there to support everyone, even. And she wins.
I mean,
95% of the 1v1 she's in. She can legit outdamage every freaking support, every other tank, every other character in the game, unless they're a tank.
no, I will say it is kind of a problem if the bird does not go into battle. If they're too passive, then it's bad. But if they're too aggressive, that's also really bad. Considering if you're too aggressive with bird, you'll die. And if you're too passive with bird, you'll die. There's a fine medium, which, I gotta be honest, I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can still play bird decently. It's just kind of like a lot of fine tuning and game situations, but
like I've seen you play Brig, and I don't know how you stand doing it. Like you're support, and yet you can win any fight you go into, and if you're good and if the tank's bad enough or you're good enough, you can kill legit anyone you want as a support. And you're not even.
And that's if you get the first shot. Like there's certain characters, like there's a fine line of characters who you can and can't beat. Like it's definitely limited of who you can fight and still win, and it's also about how you play. Like if you don't manage your abilities right, you will lose, which is a extreme difficulty for Blade, especially now that they took the cooldown and increased it for the stun. It's better for those fighting Blade. It's also kind of an annoyance to people who play Blade. It's kind of like whatever Blizzard does is gonna have two sides of it.
Yeah. Just like
which I don't mind the change. I don't mind the change of Blade. It is kind of one of those things. If that full HP though. It's like, I don't know.
And all, but he's under the same, like, hate D.Va is. Just, you're not really a tank.
Hey, there was a lot of love for D.Va, okay? You can't deny that.
That's the thing, there's too much love for D.Va.
Yeah, like, I can't deny that. What pisses me off at so many people who pick D.Va and then fail. But they want to pick her just because they really like the character. Not how they play at all, just the character in general, and how much they show her and present her as this popular just show girl almost.
Yeah, she's.
It makes me mad that they took the fact that she's like they presented the fact in which she was a gamer girl and all that, like all the characteristics of D.Va. They took that and then they blew it up out of proportion. Like it's almost like how it's depicted people react when they find an actual girl playing games. It's like, it's not that big of a deal if you play them enough. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Like for some odd reason,
like,
just a gamer girl blows everyone's mind.
I have to be honest, I like D.Va and I like the promotional stuff, which they show for D.Va, but, I would still like the character, even if that wasn't there. Even if she didn't get promoted, like, popularized how she is, I would still play the character. Since I probably still would have tried her, and I still would have liked it. Because it's still the same character.
You like to play.
And it's still the same character. Like, of course I like the character which goes with it. But the playstyle which I have for D.Va now, it is something which I really enjoy to play. Same with what was Mercy. Like, even though they fixed it, it still doesn't feel the same.
Yeah.
Like, since they nerfed it. I even couldn't even tell, like, oh, that's trying to, like, repeat myself. But I couldn't even tell the difference of when they fixed Mercy. And I did heal you guys, and even the top games, I healed with Mercy, and I didn't even realize it. Because that's how much they change it around. It doesn't even, like, I don't even notice it anymore. Which is bad, since I should be able to, since I played her so much. what with my 43 hours on Diva, no, on Mercy.
Yeah.
I should be able to tell the difference, right?
You should.
But I can't, because they change it so much. It's hard to keep track of as it is. So, when they do that sort of stuff, it's sad to see.
Yeah, I like see, I could see your transition between loving Mercy with a passion and just what you are now with her. Because you used to, like, when you first started playing Mercy, you were all into it, and you would play support even though there was no support needed, and you would do it as actual support. But now you, like, only find your joy in Battle Mercy, and as you said, you can't tell the difference for healing.
Yeah, I've already ranted about it earlier, but it is, to rehash it, it is annoying to play Mercy, and how even though she gets nerfed and just the reputation gets ruined of Mercy, it still is one of those annoyances that people still hate her. It's unnecessary hate for a character which Blizzard clearly doesn't realize what they're doing with her.
Yeah. They just don't know what to do with her anymore.
And like bringing that fact up that I don't really like to play Mercy anymore, even though I still play her, it's still just the support category alone. It's one of those things which I don't like doing all that much anymore. They took my support and threw it away. I can play the other supports, and I will if I have to. It's just, it's not as enjoyable as what it was with some of the other characters. There's a lot of different ways to play Junkrat, but I'm fine with like how you play any character and you just shoot people. It's like, that's understandable, that's how you should play like a first-person shooter, and then the abilities get thrown in, and of course characters are like made to use their abilities in combat. But with a concussion mine doing an instant 100 damage plus not that, it's like, I find it dumb. It's a cheap way to deal with a squishy, because you go pop, pop, dead, squishy, and if they're not dead, got the high damage bombs and the freaking
because it lasts for a long time.
Yeah, and if you have any good headset at all, anyone on the teammate can heal the trap, activate, and pounce on it. See? And it also sucks when Junkrats do that. Just toss the trap and stop you mid-thing. Junkrat's a dumb character. He is a high damage piece of trap, which I will say Savion, I personally think way too low. Everything. It's still 4 is low, and it's still ceiling is low. It takes no skill to play Junkrat. Oh, turn around about the skins.
Actually,
because I got stuff to talk about.
I can rant. I have a bit of rant for Reinhardt. My main.
Okay.
Like,
by all means.
Yes, I've seen the post. I've seen what people think of it. I've seen everything of Jeff saying he's a tank main. But I can't believe any of them. I really can't.
What do you think you're doing?
They have Ryan in such a shit position that yes, his shield is needed in game, but that's legit all that's needed. Nothing else of him is needed. If they gave anyone else a shield, which they did, which is Orisa, which is the now top pick for tanks, he is just unusable. Not having CC in a CC dependent meta.
Yeah. And even Orisa, with her CC immune, it's still too much CC that the one ability does not stop it.
And he's such a close range character that it's completely, he's also countered in the sniper meta, which is now a thing since they reworked Hanzo.
Yeah.
So there's just no need for him anymore. And then there's this little chick who I hate with a burning passion, who can stun me. Who freaking just rolls up,
walks up and just knocks down the shield. It's
yeah,
like,
just bops down the shield. Like, what? You just left an entire team defenseless for 2 seconds and just killed the Rhine, because any competent team would kill the Rhine.
would shoot that Rhine. Yeah.
Yeah, they would end his life within a fraction of a second. I have died legit within seconds of breaking the barrier, and the enemy team doesn't even need a freaking bastion. You just can get gunned down so fast in this game.
Yeah, since we have the high DPS characters, like Junkrat, no matter how much health you have, it will go down and you will die. You don't even need a bastion at this point to kill anybody in this game. Like, sure, others have more survivability than others, but it's a problem. It truly is.
And just all the hate that's going towards the tanks. Like, yes, he's giving Roadhog a buff, but that buff is so slight and not really needed. And yet they still have yet to ever touch Rhine. And the day they do touch Rhine, they're gonna ruin him, because they're gonna have to rework him.
Yeah.
And then what's gonna happen?
Reset.
The fun of it's gonna be sucked out. Cause I already, almost, during the double hammer down meta, or not meta, but double hammer down bugs, he just got fixed with his Earth Shatter. His Earth Shatter finally got fixed where it didn't activate after after a shield was already put up. And then also the freaking getting his hammer not hitting for some odd reason, as well as pinning people when they shouldn't have been pinned and missing pins when they should have hit.
Even though I still don't find that fits, because, wait, how recently was that, though?
That was just an update to fix them, 2 updates ago, right after Hanzo's rework. They fixed it, and then guess what came out?
Since times after that, I've still seen, weird BS pins, which, shouldn't happen, but they still do.
Yeah.
It made sense to have him be able to pin people. Because that's main ability, but it's
supposed to make sense.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense when his shoulder taps you and you get in front of him.
And it doesn't make sense for me, but people, all they have to do nowadays is legit jump. That's it. You jump, and the Reinhardt pin, rather than getting pinned, you will go flying. You'll go up in the air. Just by jumping. There is no need to actually dodge it.
Dumb. And honestly, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it happens to me non-stop. They just jump because they're trying to go faster, because that's the thing you do when you're just trying to go faster, is jump. Even though it really doesn't work, but you think it does, which is just gamer mentality. But you do that, and you just save yourself from a pin. Which is stupid. And that really hurts to see that, and it hurts me to see the position Rhine's in, considering he's my favorite character. I knew coming into this game that Lucio and Rhine would be my 2 favorite characters. I came in with that knowledge, and it stuck through and through, all the way through. Yes, I picked up Sim and I picked up May. But those 2 are also really fun, and yet Rhine is just getting into a worse and worse state every new character. he's just becoming unusable, just like Mercy did. Every new champion, she became less of a priority. And then they nerfed her to all living hell, but in Ryan's case, they're not doing anything to him. So he's just slowly dying out because he has such a basic kit. His kit is swing, high amount of shield to block the team, and a fire strike to charge your ult. Like, that's all that's used for. It's not meant for killing, it's for charging your ult. And then there's the pin just for when you need to either pin the, which used to be to just pin the other Reinhardt so that they could, so that your team could actually do something.
Oof.
But now it's pointless. You charge, you're gonna die because everything can stun you out of it.
And everyone and their mother will shoot a charging Ryan.
Yeah, he's just in such a bad position that you want a rework. I want a rework for him, but if I get one, I know I'm gonna be disappointed in what they have. And
like even though they change and quote unquote fits characters, it's still a lot of people have not been touched, which is actually kind of weird considering how much they have. Like characters who like fit the change are not the ones who need to be changed.
yeah, like who's that needed a fix? Crap, I can't think of them now.
Oh, Sama didn't need a fix.
Yeah, Summer
She was fine how she was.
She was perfectly fine the way she was. Like, yes, the change allows a little more freedom, and I personally like that, but it was not needed.
Yeah, it helped Sombra players out by also pissing off other players, but...
Yeah, because now Sombra will legit sit invisible the entire game and only pop out for 5 seconds at a time. So you're legit playing a 5v6 with a go. You're playing 6 on 6. No, you're playing 5 on 6 with a ghost. Because you're always going to have a teammate down, because Sombra's always going to be invisible and pounce at that perfect time, and you're never going to see her. If you actually see a Sombra, she's not doing her job.
Yeah. Or if you do your support and you're gonna die. That's how it is. So, since people in top, at least for gold, I don't know how it is up in plat since you were up there. But at least in like low gold and whoever, like fine and whatnot, people don't help their supports. They don't.
Yeah, that carries over even plat.
Like how it feels wrong to use the word pure, even though I know that. But I know that's the term to use for it. It just kind of is something which not everybody understands. So it's just kind of like, it's not. It's annoying when people don't come to kill the person who is killing the support. It's like they're just gonna let them kill the one keeping you alive. It's like, it's stupid to me. Like even if I don't do it immediately, it's still, I go back there and it'll help. Like it's not every time, and it necessarily, like, it's annoying when it doesn't happen every time as a support player, but as like the DPS or tank, like especially with DPS, I'm always turn back and fire if I am in sight with them. And it won't happen every time. Like if I have like the other support who I'm trying to kill, it's like I'll focus them down instead of trying to go help the other support. But somebody should still be on that. Not saying it has to be like one person every time. It could be the whole team or something. Like one time nobody, but it's not like the entire game just forget about a certain support.
Yeah, like I understand that, which I completely agree with, but that's why I think that's why they added Brig and Moira, so that they could have that support, but then it went so wrong because yes, Brig
with Brig being up there with the front lines, healing them directly if they do it right. If the Brig's playing right, she won't have to actually physically heal anybody. She'll just have to hit people, which is her job, is to be up there with the support, with the tanks, and help them.
Yeah,
I also feel that's Lucio's mode to keep up with the flanking DPS, but Mercy now is more just heal the squishies, like fly around, heal the squishies. Like it's not helpful to your team to heal a tank. Sure, the tank will get pissed off, but Mercy is in no way, shape, or form a main support. She will always now be a secondary support. She did not heal a whole team by herself. You can try, and it might succeed every once in a while, but not all the time. Ana, Moira, if you're playing her right, maybe occasionally Vegeta, if everybody pushes all the same time, Vegeta can heal all of them, and we'll be fine.
Yeah, but
same with Lucio.
See,
Mercy is just, Mercy and Zen are just out of that support. They are in no way, shape, or form that way.
See, the reason I think they failed with Brigitte is because their point of adding Brigitte in and allowing her to win so many 1v1s is so that she can stay by and protect the supports, which is also like how a McCree should play. Use a flashbang, kill the flankers, and pick people behind the shield. Just shoot through the shield. And still doing massive damage. But that's not what happens. McCrees always go up front, they fight with the front lines and all that. They ignore the back lines. Unless they're the ones getting shot
Which
at.
everybody pretty much does. People forget about the back line a lot, and it's annoying to be the support and have to deal with that. But it's understandable why a lot of people won't pick support. And I've heard things that less people pick tank than support. I mean, people pick more supports than tanks, but I feel like that's only because Moira and Vegeta, that they are that, like, can be either one, like, either, like, support, damage, tank, depending on whoever it is, but I feel like that's the only thing bringing up the support category past the tank category. They fall for some trap. And true.
95% of the community is nothing but DPS mains. They don't want to touch the other categories, because where's the fun?
Some will, but they'll still DPS with it. It's like...
Yeah. Like, people don't see what the point, or no, people don't find fun in the other categories. Like they're personally pushing you out of it, considering you personally used to love the support category.
Yes. Yes, I find that true. Since even the enemy supports will come and gank you as a support.
Yeah.
That's the point at which this game has come to.
Which that makes no
Like, not the fighters whose job it is to do that. It will be the supports on the other team. Which I find is entirely dumb. But it happens. And the only thing we're trying to do is sympathize with people who don't want to play support, because it's reasonable. It's such a bad position. And I know, tank is not favorable. Even though I don't play a lot of them, it's still not fun to be in, since you get focused down so fast.
Yeah, and people take that knowledge and just hate, and just don't want to play tank. They get upset that they're dying fast, they don't think they should initiate the fight, and when they do, they are upset that they can't do the damage they want. But that's... It's
in part that they die so much because their supports die, but either way, it's just a whole lot of mess.
And like,
if you can't play a DPS, you'll not, like Savion. Okay, I don't know if you'll play top by yourself or if you even play this game by yourself.
Yeah,
but like,
Much better.
Okay, when you play by yourself and your team needs a tank or support, without somebody asking you, will you still pick that?
I'll pick a tank that I have fun with.
Like, I can...
So you'll pick for fun, not to help the team. Like you'll take up the role, just you do it for fun.
I pick a tank I have fun with.
No, like I've seen him in his quick play matches, just a few of them, and right now I have his career profile pulled up. Yeah, he is a DPS main, but he picks a lot of characters to fill. He will fill any role. Like, he plays a lot of Lucio. He has 5 hours on Lucio.
So he is very much a flex player, which I actually don't hate. I actually enjoy that. And I'm happy that you can do that now, Savion. Since it took so long to get you to play attention support, but it's something which everybody has to be able to do. If you can't play one of, well, no, 2 of every category, you are screwed. And if you can't play any DPS, you're just
You're also screwed.
done. There's nothing you can do.
Because then you're relying on solely your DPS, and just you're
Half the
stuck.
game's like damage.
If your DPS sucks, then it's like pointless.
Yeah. Now. Like right now, I don't know, like how, like the tank category is such a hated pick that I don't know if there will ever be any actual new tank mains. Because yes, people do normally come in here seeing the DPS and how flashy they are, being always play the game.
But tanks can do that too.
Yeah,
A
normally
plain exact example is Diva.
yeah,
It's
she
like you can still get play, and it's flashy.
and character, and that is a useless role.
Or they're playing the character on, even though they aren't playing it themselves.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the problem. I think other players, I think people want to play characters that they're not exactly good at, then try to, and then other people like hate on them because they're not good best with that character. It stops them.
Even though they aren't either. So.
I've heard
Like, you know those people who think that they're good at every character and then they're not. It's like,
and then they can only play like 1 or 2 characters. Like I don't like. I'm personally not. This isn't me hating on any of these characters, but like Genji I'm not hating on any of these type of people, in case any of my viewers out there are, but Genji, I mainly see it with people with a huge amount of hours on Genji or Hanzo, and no hours on any other character. And they just have such a hatred towards everything, and they always have some negative comment or a comment about how you're playing, even though they've never touched that character before.
it isn't even really acceptable for Smurf since you won't be able to know if they're a Smurf until you see them play. Even full of fat is if they claim to have that they're a Smurf and they don't show it, there's something wrong with that. Since you know either they're lying or they're just straight bad and they don't need a Smurf. They should just play one account. It's like,
Yeah. Which is another huge problem that's in this game, is everybody's a Smurf nowadays. Like, I can't get any higher than Plat, not because of how bad I am or my mechanical skill, because you all can vouch for me. I have made it to Plat, and I'm a good player. I work well with teams, and I can take up a role of shot caller if need be, but so many people are Smurfs, leave, or throw my games in Plat that it's just, I can't ever do anything. I can't climb. So I'm stuck not able to do anything.
doing decent, then getting pissed off at one person and losing your cool, since you will still do really bad. It just takes level. You can do good, you just gotta focus more, which is actually kind of a problem. Oh, like, no. Things which happen outside of the game. it's not always easy to focus. But if you can focus, then you can be good at anything, even if you get pissed off. Just have to find that fine balance, which a lot of people don't have. Not saying everybody doesn't, but it takes a little bit of something to know what that is.
Yeah, you have to know your limit on when you just need to put the game down. You just took it too serious. Which...
That's why, if you lose a game and you know that you lost it because you got mad, you shouldn't play anymore.
Yeah.
Which happens to me a lot in a lot of different games. If I get pissed off, I will keep playing to try and end on that win.
Yeah.
Which will never happen, and then you'll drop too much, and it's like, oh, crap, what did I just do?
And then you're just then you just grow this disdain over something that you could have avoided altogether by just putting down the controller.
Tweaking, which I have to do with AO drop characters, it's a pain I have to deal with, and I feel like they wanted me to do support. Oh.
Yeah, but the problem with that's the difference between the two issues. Like the double pile driver and double seismic slam are totally different situations from the double earth shatter. The double earth shatter was you pretty much had to sit there and watch your animation twice just to get the effect of it once. And if you die during that double animation, you still lost your ult. So you just had an entire other 2 seconds to die during your ult, which was ruined Ryan's ult, so no one ulted anymore. And if you did, you knew you were gonna not die during it.
Damn it, get me up.
Ryan has been in a bad position since, I think, Ana. No, yeah, Ana. Since Ana, there's been always an issue with Ryan, no matter what. And
I mean, even though they have a line, it's still like, he can't do anything. He's only a meat shield. I don't know how you're doing, but it is... Well, I kind of take the focus off you because of me, but it's still meat shield. That's all we're trying to do.
yeah, he is there to take the brunt.
Okay. Completely off topic, but to point out in this game at how just
Wow.
how this was, I could have had golden limbs, and I did have it for a long time. It's just kind of ended up being that. Like,
That,
with the
that play game was from Mercy Main.
yeah, doing that whole game, I had all the DPS, like the Moira, she touched me with her ult, and then as soon as she respawned after that death, she went straight for me. It completely annulled healing her team, which is what happens to a lot of supports. And same with the DPS, like, I'm not sure which one it was, but one of them switched to Doomfist. No, they had to Doomfist from the beginning. When he didn't kill me, he started to focus me down, so he realized how much I was killing his team. But then they also had the Reaper come in, and it was like, he didn't do anything. He just sat there. I knew he was there, and he wasted my time. It's how I didn't have golden limbs. I had bronze. Just because I sat there, waiting for that Reaper to come, because I knew what he was doing. It's like Savion with his traps. I didn't set these Venom mines up, and I know exactly when somebody's coming and who it is. Because the Venom mine. And it's like, it's kind of unfair when I know, like, from Mercy, and Mini Diva especially, I have learned how to hit headshots, which has helped with Widow, or any sniper. It's like, and Mercy mains, they will be some good snipers, I can almost guarantee it. Especially Battle Mercies. If they'll plop one go for the head, man, you're dead. There's nothing you can do.